Nihilism, the 13th of September 2024. Do they just take their weapons right into the battle without thinking about those whom they would leave behind? Give your unobstructed opinion. There are many things that could be in an impact pool. Like the first time you would hear the term nihilism being the ultimate destination of a specific line of thinking or rationality. Like considering some things intrusive and other things allowed in a hated term, humanism. Why is it a hated term? Because the world was not created for humans just as much as it was not created by them. It is not a continuous recreation of the world as perceived by the whole world and every human on earth combined. That is blasphemy. Well, sure, that is blasphemy in terms of the world was not created by humans. Being created is not based upon the decisions made by humans. Since creation began with a higher order and command. It seems as though man was created to wrestle with the ideas of creation until his death. It is a gift rather than a punishment for a sin committed. Who would you run to afterwards if God refused to give you knowledge of the world around you? If he prevented you from seeing through what makes things that are beautiful to be perceived as beautiful, what gives the rules of the universe its unified form? What gives the attribute of life to living things and even things that do not have the breath of life sent into them to dwell in a vessel until its time comes when it will be untethered? It seems as though man has to believe in something greater, in something he cannot perceive nor understand, yet it is not a trait to be unknowable or non-understandable. Murder should not have been an option. That's something I think I'm insisting on. That you would remain how you are made to be. The movie shows a person who has supernatural powers that are also possible. The pool of probability had not left. It seems as though the story of Dune begins in the topmost level of nothing, where people kill each other for nothing, where they rely on nothing to stay alive, except their being created. At times, I made connections with folk tales and theories of past evidence. In the movie Dune, they are saying that a dystopian conception of the world would lead people to rely on hallucinogens to remain alive. Spice, which is also a hated term, is a product that people fight to acquire and kill to have. For the Imperium, spice is used by the navigators of the Spacing Guild to find safe paths between the stars. You are unbelievable. Because ancient books and scriptures speak about everything in the world already. What if God had already decided when he wanted to come to earth and it's not anyone's right to hasten his coming? What if what people are promised is true? What if when God created everything, he did not begin by creating angels, but instead created the world from nothing by saying be and it was? What if there wasn't a giant serpent that had to die in order for the world to come to life? Using scripture against itself would make the task more difficult, since scripture was made to be a coherent structure with itself. Since the original religion of Adam was the same all throughout history, then it comes as no surprise that everything that followed the beginning of the concept of religion. You can't describe nihilism without first describing what religion is. To believe in nothing is akin to not having a reason of existence, as having no point in life but to follow delusions or call facts delusions, and so making them take the counter effect to its intended one. If someone sees things and then tell those things that they do not exist, is that similar to nihilism?